Well, good afternoon and welcome to our first game of the day here at Lilleshall National Sports Centre. And our opening fixture of the day is in the Under-12 Small Schools Cup final. We have St Michael's Middle School taking on St Mary's College. And what a game this promises to be. Both teams in a rich vein of scoring form coming into this one. St Michael's finding the back of the net no less than 25 times. St Mary's 31. And so let's have a little look at the lineups for this one. We'll start with the team that is set to play as the home team for this one. And that is St Michael's Middle School. So starting in goal for St Michael's, number 1 it's Toby Butt, number 2 Ewan McKay, number 3 Oliver Newell, number 4 Cassius White, number 5 Jake Sanderson, number 16 Finley Richardson, number 7 Dylan Moss, number 8 Thomas Jobe, number 9 Ashton McCree on the opposing side. Starting goal, number 1 it's Patrick Westlake for St Mary's, number 2 is Joseph Wright, number 3 Dylan Travis wearing the captain's armband today, number 4 Luke Van Dyke, number 5 Hayden Hallmark, number 6 is Zach Reeves, number 7 Scott Johnson, number 8 Ethan Cook, and up front number 9 Joe McLean. On the substitutes bench for our teams, we'll start with St Michael's wearing the number 10 it's William Tweed, and number 11 Kieran Bell. A very lean substitutes bench for them today. Meanwhile, St Mary's, they have a few more options to choose from. Number 10 Ted Newton, number 11 Ted Connell, number 12 Harrison Debo, and number 13 Jacob Cook. Officials for this opening fixture of the day, which is due to kick off in just 5 minutes time. Kick off at 2:30. The referee Mohammed Arsan, assisted by Mark Hubbard, and Nathan Bartram. The 4th official will be Bill Quirk. So thank you for joining me on this one. I'll be your commentator, Kieran Curtis, and as I mentioned, we should be in for a pulsating fixture here. Plenty of goals between both sides. And while St Mary's have had the better time of it coming into this one in front of goal, they've conceded more often than St Michael's. St Michael's have conceded just 3 times en route to this final, and they've managed 2 clean sheets in the process also. While St Mary's, well, albeit reaching this final, they haven't shut out an opponent once along the way. But who needs to keep the opponent shut out when you have got someone the likes of Hayden Hallmark in your team? 12 goals en route to this final fixture. And another matter that we'll have to give on this one, it will be a Maiden Cup title for either side. It's a debut season at this age group in the competition for St Michael's. Meanwhile, St Mary's, well, they went out in round 2 at this age group last year, so significant improvement for them to make this final. We're all set up for what will be a maiden victory for one of these sides. And the team that you can see entering the frame on the left of your screen, wearing the black and white, that's St Michael's Middle School. St Mary's College, they'll be wearing the navy shirts today. Mary's hailing from the north-west of England, based on Merseyside. They have a rich pedigree for having footballers make it within what is a very, very competitive industry. A couple of names you may have heard of. Jack Lenihan, he started for Rochdale. George Newell in the Everton side. Harry Tyra at Everton. Morgan Feeney, Everton and Sunderland. And a little-known player by the name of Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made his way through the halls of St Mary's College. There's plenty for these young men to live up to today. What could be the start of a very illustrious career choice. When we look over to the opposite side of the field, that's the navy shirts of St Mary's, wearing the number 12, that's the number 5, sorry, is what you want to look out for. The number 5 of Hayden Hallmark. And the team's just going through a little bit of conversation before this one. We had some intriguing and ferocious starts to matches yesterday. Now, the referee will run through the pre-match formalities. And a reminder, that is Mohammed Hassan in the centre circle. He's getting the two captains together. The captain for St Michael's, the number 16, another number to look out for, those bright orange boots. He's bagged 9 goals en route to this final. Mr. Hassan undertaking the coin toss. And as we've approached kickoff, what was a glorious day at Lilleshall is starting to descend into a slightly more wet affair. Let's hope that doesn't last the entirety of this game. So, kickoff very nearly upon us here. And there is the whistle, and we are underway. So kicking from right to left, it's St Mary's College, and they've lost possession very quickly here, but the opportunity can't be pounced on the wide left. So we go to the first throw-in of the game. It's a good opportunity to find a way into the game. Lovely step-overs from Finlay Richardson. Early signal of intent from the man who's in red-hot form. But happy to go back to their keeper here. St Michael's. Oh, but they lose the ball. Flirting dangerously on the edge of their box. And again, here comes St Mary's once more down the left, and a spin from the number 6, Zach Reeves. Another man exuding plenty of confidence early doors here. Skipping away, Hayden Hallmark, the number 5. He goes wide right, collects it again in the centre. And St Michael's are going to want to keep a very close eye on him today. But out the touch. Can St Michael's put together their first spell of meaningful possession in this one? 30-minute halves at this under 12s level. 9 aside, and they just can't escape their half here at the moment, St Michael's. Dinking another one forward into the centre circle. Dylan Travis is there, but now on the breakaway, here come St Michael's, but it's well watched, and then taking no chances, clearing the ball behind goal. First corner of the day goes the way of St Michael's. Well, in fact, has it been deemed to have gone off the attacking man in the end? It looked initially like Dylan Travis had got his boot. And the skipper is going to be on goal kick duty himself today. He's brought down well in the centre circle, and then winning the battle, the diminutive figure. And first shot of the game into the goal. First goal goes to St Mary's College. What a lovely finish. And there, the ball was picked up in the centre of the field and then brought down into the box. And we'll see if we can go back and have a little look at that one in a second. We'll go back once we find another break in play. First blood. Has gone to St Mary's. Just 3 minutes on the clock. And they go long from kickoff, St Michael's, into the welcome arms of Patrick Westlake. And himself sends it straight back down the field. St Mary's confident, going back to their keeper as well. Got two sides here who are more than happy to go backwards to go forwards, confident in their footballing ability. And Hayden Hallmark and Scott Johnson combining again out on the right. Scott Johnson sticks a boot out on it, can't bring that one under control. It's come off the man behind him. Really strong start to this game from St Mary's. Finley Richardson, confident little turn and step over the ball. And St Michael's can now break down the right. Long raking ball played over the defence. It's going to be chased down by William Tweed. He was originally listed as a substitute. He's early into the action. Ball in the hands of Cassius White now. This is where they'll much prefer to be, St Michael's, down the other end of the field, but they can't make that possession count once more. Mr. Hassan indicates a throw in for St Mary's. Flick on from Joe McLean and then cut out. Well, we have had the early goal in this one. Both sides have had flashes of being able to turn defence into attack very quickly. Luke Van Dijk unable to keep the ball in, out wide left, taking the throw in quickly. Flicked on off the head of Cassius White, but St Michael's pegged back again. A little bit of defensive confusion between Oliver Newell and Jake Sanderson there. Results in an advanced throw in for St Mary's. nice show and go, and a nutmeg as well from Hayden Hallmark, and he's earned himself a free kick there. Got a few tricks up his sleeve, and this is a very promising position for the number 5. You're looking to double the lead. Takes it, going for the top corner, but it's straight down the middle, and a dicey moment for Toby Butt, but gathers his composure and clutches the ball to his chest before sending it long. Nobody there. Then taking it off the toe of Joseph Wright is Finley Richardson. And he's just urging his teammates to get forward with him. 9 goals to Richardson's name throughout this tournament so far. Now, approaching the byline. Richardson gets away from one, can't get past the other, and ball breaks into St Michael's half. It's dealt with. That slow press from St Mary's there, and then they just watch the ball back to their keeper. The outside of the boot in the centre circle, loose control now. Cassius White gives chase down the right. The ball's played off him, does really well to keep that in, and then a little nutmeg, and it's away with Tweed down the flank. Goes back, cross into the area at the back post, unmarked on the left boot, and then the challenge comes in. Good defence from Joseph Wright in the end. He was following in after man was completely unmarked at the back post. Probably did himself a disservice taking the touch. Could have been an opportunity on the volley. Corner comes in. Off the head. Back towards the halfway line. We approach the 9-minute mark here. It is still 1-0 to St Mary's. And again, another confident little turn from Hayden Hallmark. He barely needs any space to work a couple of little wonders with the ball. And Luke Van Dijk with the interception. Richardson. And cutting ball through the centre, but hasn't got any teammates there with him. Hallmark. Challenge comes in, but as he has been on so many occasions, pounces on the rebound and his team can continue their wave of attack. Well, somewhat fortuitously off the boot of Richardson, then passes long for Tweed. Good defensive cover coming in. Moving back down the line, no one wide left for the follow-up. That's a disappointing end to what was starting to become a promising wave of pressure for St Michael's. Scott Johnson can't keep it in. The throw-in taken quickly. Zach Reeves plays it through the centre and finding space in the form of Ethan Cook, and he plays it through, and it's harmlessly bobbles into the hands of Toby Butt. Cassius White does like to get forward. Loses out on this occasion. White gets his head to it, ball into space, but it's Joseph Wright who'll get there first. Trusts his keeper to deal with the danger. And now Finley Richardson cutting into the box. Can't get his foot to the follow-up, and it's hat clear. Now with Hayden Hallmark, the danger man, and he jumps a tackle but loses the ball, and it is given as a foul. Certainly not the biggest player on the pitch, but he's causing plenty of headaches for St Michael's. Goes long at goal, bounces, and yeah, Toby Butt very confident then. Arms spread wide apart just to let his teammates know, I'm not worried about that one, guys. Let's take the goal kick and reset, and they do so quickly. They try and break down this right-hand side. The pass is away from Cassius White, but resulting throw-in. He's the first man to it. And again, possession just ebbing and flowing between the two teams. Richardson on his favoured left foot, trying to dance his way around Joseph Wright. A sumptuous little back heel opens up the space. Deflected shot low and wide. And here they go. They're starting to crank up the pressure. Nearly midway through this opening half. Richardson is off the outside of the post. Little look at that one on the replay. Perhaps not on that one. We'll try and get back to that in a little bit. The goal kick taken. It's wide left. Hallmark forced backwards. And he'll go to his skipper. Help get him out of danger. A neat 1-2, but then it's breaking free. Header comes away and wide. No panic in the St Mary's ranks. They're going to switch the angle of attack here. They do break away. Wide right with Scott Johnson. Johnson blocked. And then dinking one towards goal and into the roof of the net. A lovely chip from Hayden Hallmark. That was absolutely fantastic. Scott Johnson found the space out wide. And then it was played through. So now St Mary's 2 goals to the good here. And what an impact on the game Scott Johnson is having. Well, it was deflected through to him. Hayden Hallmark dispatched that with the utmost confidence, finding the back of the net. As we've mentioned, St Mary's have yet to register a clean sheet in this tournament. So by no means count St Michael's out. Plenty of time to go. Now down the right hand side, William Tweed won't get to it. Westlake the inside of the boot. Probably not the connection he wanted, but they do get away. Going shoulder to shoulder with the two number 7s, Dylan Moss and Scott Johnson. Johnson wins out. I think Moss cast a glance at the referee there, perhaps hoping for a foul. Nothing doing. Ball off Richardson, slightly painfully, and to throw into St Mary's. Trying to break out from that right back channel. And St Michael's, 2 players deflect that and set Johnson loose. Ball wide left. Shot comes in first time, not the connection Ethan Cook would have been hoping for. Toby Butt mighty relieved to watch that tame effort into his hands. Bit of head tennis. Breaks for Cassius White. And a lovely little ball round the outside of his man. And then he finds space in the centre. Low ball through and cleared by the captain Travis. There's a bit of pulling between the 2 players there. And Toby Butt, in that Manuel Neuer-esque role, gets to the ball first. His defender was there, but he was taking no chances. Get a big left boot on it. Let's remove the danger. Get down the other end of the pitch and start to work our route back into this one. The ball falling. The Tweed played it back, and big challenge on Richardson, and the foul is given. Was it inside the box? It's certainly right on that top corner. Big decision now here for Mohamed Hassan. He has given it just outside the area. Finlay Richardson found himself a little bit of space, and they were going to take absolutely no chances with it. A pragmatic and robust challenge to nullify what would have been a significant threat. That left boot. Had a few sights of goal so far, but has lacked a clear-cut opportunity. Shot comes in, parried down, scramble in front of the goal, and St Mary's can't get it away because that's man Richardson. He's on the follow-up, back into the penalty area, and now it has been given against him, so we go to the goal kick. Now the referee is in conversation with the skipper Travis. He's going to take the goal kick again. Trusty big right boot. Can't get past the first man, headed back on the edge of the box. And they'll be coming again. Since the second goal's gone in, it's been more pressure from St Michael's, but Richardson doesn't make the connection he wants to at all with that one, slices it wide. So we've got 10 minutes to go here before half-time. St Mary's College in the driving seat. 2 goals to the good. And one from Scott Johnson, that was followed by one from Hayden Hallmark. A bemused look on the face from Toby Butt there. He disagrees that that was a corner, but the officials saw it slightly differently. Or have they? There's now a little bit of debate between the players as to who's going to take it. Yeah, it is indeed a corner, and McLean there, he wanted to take it, and then he wanted to offer the option short. Eventually relents, to allow Luke Van Dijk to swing one into the box. Curling one from Van Dijk. Won't get past the first man on the front post. But it's back to the number 4 out wide. Loose control. Confident side foot there from William Tweed, and St Michael's will clear it up to halfway. Westlake. Off the boot. Dylan Mawson out for a St Mary's throw on the far side of the field. Clean plays one through. He's releasing Hallmark. Hallmark wide right. He gets the shot away, and it's across the face of goal. Well held by Toby, but was probably helped by his defence there. Hallmark wasn't given the space he so gratefully punished with the second goal of the game on that occasion. Michael's learning from the earlier error, but now into the box. Joe McLean can't reach the pass from Ethan Cook. Was a little bit heavy off the right boot of Cook there. Travis clears over halfway. 50-50 ball. And eventually breaks for White. Thinks about the pass forward. I think he perhaps like an option slightly wider. Would have been firing it into bodies on the edge of the box there. Hallmark. And then the ball eventually trickles through to Toby Butt. The ball really slowed down right on the edge of the box there. You can see the grass is a little bit longer here. I mean, that's does affect the pace of it, slightly nullified by how wet it is at the moment. Richardson, the outside of his boot. And Jake Sanderson then, as soon as he received the ball, turned his back to goal. He won himself a free kick in the end, and taken it quickly. And as he turned his back, he was actually turning away from his support in the form of Richardson, who was taking a more direct line to goal. And the space was out to the left, but alas, the chance goes begging to find a route back into this one, and St Mary's have a throw-in. Headed down, the clearance is off Joe McLean. A slight break in play here. A substitution ongoing. Entering the fray, number 11, Kieran Bell. Looks to have been a direct swap with number 10, William Tweed. Cassius White be disappointed not to connect with that one. His teammates get the job done. Throwing on the near side for St Mary's. 5 minutes to go until half-time here at Lilleshall National Sports Centre. In the ESFA Boys Under 12 Small Cups final. White nods it into the back of Ethan Cook, and then it's off his boot. And St Mary's can sustain the pressure they've been applying down this left-hand side. St Mary's, they've switched the focus of attack multiple times. They can come down the left, they can go down the right, or they can direct down the centre. Certainly not a one-dimensional side. And Finlay Richardson just can't break away, and got a boot to it. Will have himself a throw-in. Hayden Hallmark nicks it away from him. Big touch and a big challenge from Ewan McKay across the body of Scott Johnson. No quarter being given in this game. In fact, Tweed is still on the pitch. Cassius White heavy. Oh, and early signs of frustration for the young man. Thought he could do better with that one. The reality is he's found himself on a few occasions wide right and has set his team into some attacking play. Oh, and that's just unfortunate. The greasy football slips out the hands and St Mary's get away, and the challenge come in through the back of Joe McLean, and he looks uncomfortable there. To his feet quickly, his team will have the ball. Referee just telling him to bring it back a couple of yards. And common trick in football, isn't it? Just try and gain yourself a couple of extra ones. They needn't worry because they will get this one into the box. And it's headed away. Only as far as McLean on the edge of the area. Good challenge. They can't get beyond the halfway line. Second wave to follow up. Inside now. Good interception from Zach Reeves. Finds Hallmark. Hallmark doesn't keep it, but neither can Finlay Richardson. It's just getting a little bit scrappy as we approach half-time here. But space on the edge of the penalty area is opening up, and then the defenders dive in to block the effort of Joe McLean. Plenty of commitment on display here. Flick on from Richardson. Off of St Mary's head, Richardson gets it back immediately, and then the nutmeg. Plays it off the outside left boot. He's given space to Tweed out wide. Tweed held up by Travis. Forced backwards. Quick exchange. And the ball finds a way into the box and then behind the goal. And the danger comes to an end. And that's really what the story of the first half has been. You've had St Mary's being clinical with the few chances they've got. St Michael's have got themselves into several good positions, but just haven't pulled the trigger or just haven't quite got into that killer position. Get them the goal that some of their possessional play has perhaps deserved in this one. Strong tackle. The ball breaks wide right, goes all the way through, and then there's Travis. I think there was a little bit of a question mark of did he go in with 2 feet. There's certainly a man still on the floor for St Michael's. But play continues here. That's really confident defending from Luke van Dijk. We mentioned Trent Alexander-Arnold has passed through the halls of St Mary's College, and it looks like they've got plenty of young men still at the school who also like to play an attacking route out of defence, keeping the ball on the ground, trying to get around the opposition rather than over the top of them. Just a couple of moments to go. In fact, we have had the half-time whistle now. So at the break, it is St Mary's who are in the ascendancy. 2 goals to the good here over St Michael's. We'll go back and have a little look at some of the first half highlights. The celebrations were quite rampant after that opening goal. Finley Richardson striking where crossbar meets post from a corner, and that's arguably the closest the ball has come to hitting the back of the net for St Michael's. And then a lovely chipped effort from Hayden Hallmark that stretches his tally in this competition to 13 goals. And the heavy challenge from Finley Richardson on the edge of the box that forced the referee into a decision at the half-hour mark. As it stands here at the break, St Michael's Middle School have it all to do. They'll resume play in around about 10 minutes time. And just a reminder, the way that we'll be running the player of the match votes today, there will be a poll going up on Twitter. Check that out, @SchoolsFootball is the handle that you're looking for. There'll be 2 candidates from each side to choose from. And then the vote of the public will ultimately decide who walks away with the player of the match title. At the moment, well, it's certainly open for both sets of players to stake their claim on it, bring it home to their school. Almost ready to go again here at Lilleshall. And kicking off the second period is going to be St Michael's, and they get the ball back very quickly as well, wide right. And they've got a throw in. Ball breaking on the edge of the area. Now down the near side it falls to the feet of Tweed. Neat 1-2 and space opening up for Dylan Moss. He's forced backwards, gets it to the edge of the box, and Zach Reeves is there to intercept. Clash of the number 5s. And Hayden Hallmark, as he has on several occasions, puts the ball through the legs of an opponent. And now down the far side, it breaks for St Mary's on the edge of the penalty area, forced backwards. And St Michael's can get it away. And the shot flashes across goal and into the bottom corner. It's Finlay Richardson. And he has brought his side back into this one. Exactly what his coaches would have wanted to see. A nice early goal for St Michael's. Well, we said before kickoff, St Mary's haven't managed a clean sheet at any point through this tournament, and they still haven't. And just a little over a minute on the clock in the second period. St Mary's down the right-hand side. Hallmark switching, cutting inside. And the ball all the way across to the far side of the field. Throw in to St Michael's. Their tails are up. Cassius White wants to go quickly. And long ball. And it just bounces out off the far side. And nodded down. Cassius White with a neat nutmeg, can't get to the afters, and well, this game has just burst into life. Finlay Richardson, that lethal left boot of his, bags his 10th goal of the tournament. In the hands of Dylan Travis. And back to the skipper. He goes long, giving chase. Joe McLean can't get to it. St Mary's established a foothold in this game so early in this one. They were pegged back immediately at the start of the second period. A good, strong challenge comes in wide right. Ball breaks for Cassius White, who tries to jink away from his opposite number. White, first man to the throw in there. It's stolen away from him from Johnson. Johnson holds his arm aloft. Be Luke Van Dijk with the next throw in. Towards the edge of the penalty area, and then whistle goes from Mohamed Hassan. St Mary's ball, and a bit of deep conversation here between the coach and his players. Joe McLean been vocal on a couple of occasions now. Hallmark swings one in. It's off the leg of a defender. Be a throw in now. St Mary's. Sustained pressure from the boys in navy blue. Taken short. McLean gets a right boot to it. Tussle between Johnson and Cassius White. It goes Johnson's favour. Cassius White, though, should be pretty happy with his work there. He still prevented the cross from getting in, which is exactly what you need from your wider defenders. Corner comes in, it's off a chest and then off the toe and head of Zach Reeves. White chases on, but Kieran Bell can't reach it. Cleared for another throw-in. Ball with White. Now follow up again. Not quite as expansive at the moment. White tries to get the cross in. Reeves will get it away. Up to halfway. Hallmark. Strong little shove into his opponent. It was a 50-50 challenge. His size is deceptive. He really does give absolutely as good as he gets, Hayden Hallmark, in this one. He's got bags of skill, but he's not afraid of a little bit of physicality in the game as well. White, good opportunity, but Hallmark again gets an outstretched boot to it. And then White can't get to the afters, and there's a throw-in coming in for St Mary's to break out. It'll be ordered to be taken again. Ashton McCreath is back on the field. That's a difficult decision there. There was two heads very close on it. And it has actually gone against St Mary's. They were all walking up the field just expecting that to be continuation of them trying to break away. It will be now. Joe McLean, through ball for Hallmark. He'll lose out. Ewan McKay. Throwing wide right for St Mary's. Again, it's just getting a little bit scrappy. Play very focused down that far side of the field. And a stumble will set the opposition through. Here comes St Michael's. The chase is on. And a challenge comes in. He hasn't got the ball there, but play continues. You have to give it to Dylan Moss there. He was straight back to his feet. Wanted to carry on. And he has earned himself a free kick. The play has been called back. Cross comes in towards the far post. It's actually headed away from goal. And they break away now down the centre of the field. Here comes Hallmark. Cross it into the centre. The number 9 on his right foot. Cuts inside. Jumps around 2 players. Lovely play. And then Cassius White with an excellent covering challenge. Vital that he got there. And St Michael's come down this near side now. Not seeing much action on this left flank. Back to the keeper. Cassius White does really well. Has he got there? No, the flag's gone up. He was so close to keeping that one in. Must have been just a fraction into touch. In fact, it's been given as a foul. Frustration. Perhaps a few nerves. From the wide right, the cross is coming in from Oliver Newell. St Mary's do get away though. And they've got a lot of space and men breaking into the box. Kept hold of the ball. It was Jacob Cook who didn't release the cross, and it's been a little bit of frustration from Joe McLean. On a few occasions, he certainly was screaming for that ball to get crossed to him. He'd opened up a bit of space on the edge of the area. Get his opportunity to get boot to the ball now from the corner. Cross comes in and into the side netting. And look at that, St Michael's just sprinting to get up the field. Cassius White, he can't control on that occasion. And the quick breakaway. Not on the cards. And again, the ball just slipping out the hands of Luke van Dijk, not for the first time. Certainly not as wet as it was yesterday, and he's learnt his lesson now. He's going to make sure that ball gets dried off before he tries to hurl one back in. That looked a bit close to being a foul throw. Play resumes. Hallmark switching between left and right boot, and then very speculative boot to ball from the centre of the field. It was nowhere near the goal. I think it was probably more of a hit and hope clearance, expecting the challenge, than it was an actual genuine effort on goal. Toby Butt goes short, and he's done that on several occasions. St Michael's playing out from the back. Richardson, the goal scorer, forced backwards. And a lovely ball from the inside of the boot. Looks to set White free, but Van Dijk across to it. Been a really, really fascinating game, this. Battle of attrition, certainly in the second half. St Mary's, well, they've not been able to re-establish their ascendancy, maintain the 1-goal lead, but the better chances, they're starting to come the way of St Michael's, and they won't get one from here. The ball deemed to have gone out off Cassius White and behind for a goal kick. a reminder to head over to the Twitter page at Schools Football, where you will find the player of the match nominations and have your say on who gets crowned the definitive player of the game today. Back underway. Ball with Hallmark in the centre of the field. He looks to get to the pass that was released down the near side. Good covering defence, and St Michael's have had a very good shifting pattern with their defenders, switching from left to right just to sweep across any danger that presents itself. Cassius White finds some space out wide, knocks one forward, and Van Dijk, no chances taken. Finley Richardson, he turns into trouble, but gets to the scraps, and again a lovely little step over. Can't get past Van Dijk though. Cleared it into the number 16. Cassius White was there in support, and he's still turning and twisting, gets across in, and cleared from the edge of the 6-yard box. Richardson, and as he has on so many occasions, just takes it on the inside of his left boot and gives it a little shimmy and a tap onto the outside. Now down the near side touchline, a strong shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. The foul is given. Travis with an opportunity to swing one into the box for St Mary's. A chance to restore a 2-goal lead. It's long, it's high, and it's over the head of Hallmark and into the clutches of Toby, but underarm wants to break away quickly down the near side. It's a pass that does go through the opposition, but sadly nobody there for St Michael's. Hallmark. Still Hallmark. Challenge is made by Jake Sanderson, and Hallmark gets away, and he rides another challenge. He's into the penalty area, and he's just gone behind goal. What's the decision that has been made? It is a corner. A little bit of frustration from Toby, but he disagreed with that one. Wants to get his team down the other end of the field as quickly as he can. Curling headed up over the bar. Jacob Cook, who found some space there, but was straining underneath the ball. Didn't get to it cleanly. Down the near side, St Mary's come, and that is a strong challenge. Thomas Job throwing himself in between man and ball there. But it was strong, but it was fair, and play continues. I've got to throw in now. And a lovely little chip away, and then back on the nutmeg, steps another one, shot comes in, it's low and it's wide. Joe McLean starting to showcase what he can do. Proven time and time again to his teammates he can score plenty himself. 6 goals to his name en route to this final. St Mary's are a team who do share the goals around a bit. And as things stand, this is the tightest game that these sides have been in throughout this tournament. The ball breaks to the edge of the box, and McLean Can't bring it under control. Richardson can, though. And he finds a teammate running down the left flank. And as you'd hope from any good captain, Dylan Travis thwarts the danger with absolute certainty there. Little step over backfires. Hallmark gets away with it, and then it's scrappy. A little bit of afters, a little bit of needle creeping into this game. Ewan McKay just letting his man know not going to be bullied off the ball. Going down the near side, it breaks wide left for St Mary's, out at the halfway line. St Michael's, they've still got plenty of time. We've had one penalty shootout at Lilleshall already this week, and they can find an equaliser. We may well have the second. Richardson chips one wide left, pressure's on, but it's cleared. Heavy touch, and hacked back into play, and well, the venom on that ball down the line was just too much. Ricochets out into touch. I was saying the closest scoreline either side has had en route to the final. Well, for St Michael's, it was a 3-1 victory over Truro School. Or St Mary's, well, they enjoyed a 3-2 victory over Blacon High School. White takes a throw inside. Was going backwards slightly, and the ball was lumped forward by Oliver Newell. Hallmark on the break now. Ah, that's a fantastic recovering challenge. Stepping right across the man, eyes firmly on the ball, taking it cleanly, and setting his team away down the other end of the field. Good challenge. And St Michael's, the beneficiaries of the resulting throw-in. Finding space is Cassius White, and he has been a real nuisance today for the opposition. He's been everywhere, left side, right side, in front of his own goal, right up to the opponent's box. The ball breaks through, and Hallmark won't reach it. You'd have guessed it, that man White once again. Trying to prevent his opposition from having a clean opportunity on goal. Throw in for St Michael's. With Cassius White a few yards up from the halfway line. Little pockets of space opening up for St Michael's, and they get the cross in. It's headed away from the centre of the box. Perhaps a little bit of fatigue setting in for the St Mary's players. Surging forward now, and round 3 men before cutting back into the box. Shot is low, and there's an open at the back post for the number 7, Dylan Moss, but he won't reach it and rolls harmlessly behind. Relief for St Mary's. That was probably a bit close for comfort at this stage. They come again. St Michael's with a throw-in. It was awkward for Thomas Jobe to deal with, but he did find his teammate. Ball just bounced up right in front of him, and he had to play it first time back down the line. Cross comes in. Good header away from Travis. Another 50-50 challenge. Richardson has it on his left boot, and he slices his shot wide. Well, when you've scored as many as this young man has throughout the tournament, you certainly cannot criticise him for trying to take an opportunity. Young man absolutely full of confidence. Not long to go in this one. Still St Mary's 2, St Michael's 1. A very, very balanced first half in terms of the play, but at half-time St Mary's had established a 2-goal lead. There was an excellent finish from both Scott Johnson and Hayden Hallmark. That was followed in the second half by a composed finish low across the face of goal by Finlay Richardson to give St Michael's a lifeline. The ball breaks on the edge of the area, ricochets off Joe McLean through into the grateful hands of Toby Butt, who goes long. As the end draws near, there's a little bit of frenetic energy building in this game. Who can hold their nerve here? And St Mary's see the job through. Can St Michael's crank up the pressure while they still have time left? Van Dijk off the head of White. Van Dijk, his effort to intercept sends it infield, and scything clearance returns the ball to St Michael's deep in their own territory. Jacob Cook, he got a second bite of the cherry to get rid of that ball. Perhaps shouldn't have let it bounce initially, but kept his cool to deal with it. Richardson, nice inside pass. Challenge comes in, shot is low and it's bouncing, but it's wide ultimately. It's taken a deflection. St Michael's are going to swing this one in from Richardson. Left-footed, really good deep cross, but it skids off the head of Dylan Moss, who had ghosted in at the back post. Moss, he's scored 4 goals in the tournament. Probably been a little bit quieter today than he and his side would have liked, but well, there's time still on the clock and he's still getting in dangerous positions. Hope remains. White with the block and force favourably for St Mary's. Good spin and turn sets Hallmark on his way. He's strayed offside though. Toby Butt comes right up the field to try and get rid of this one. In fact, no, play's been brought back for a foul for St Mary's. And the protests continue from St Michael's, but falling on deaf ears, Mohammed Hassan. wants play to get back underway, and it does so. Long ball. It was a very dangerous choice from Toby Butt, but off the toe of Zach Reeves and behind. The sweeper keeper made a good challenge in the first half and was nearly caught out by Zach Reeves on that occasion. Finley Richardson. That's Dylan Moss loose wide left. Moss, low cross across the face of goal. No one there. Kieran Bell was there at the back at the second attempt, but looks for a teammate coming in behind. And there we have the full-time whistle. To St Mary's College. The ESFA Under-12s 9-a-side Small Schools Cup. It's their first title, and they have plenty of reason to be jumping for joy here. They've seen this one through. They were 2-0 ahead at half-time. Finley Richardson gave them a little bit of a scare in the early stages of the second half. With a lovely left-footed finish. And it's over to the coaches just to pick up the players of St Michael's School. They gave as good as they got. This was a really, really balanced match. Both sides had their opportunities. It really came down to a few moments of quality. And indeed, the second goal of the game from Hayden Hallmark has proved to be all the difference in this one. Hayden Hallmark finishes the tournament with 13 goals. Unlucky for some, certainly not unlucky for St Mary's number 5. He pulled the strings from the centre of the park. And they've not even been presented with the trophy yet, and they're already bouncing away on the far side of the field. Well done, boys. Fully deserved in what was a tough and attritional fixture here as the conditions began to worsen. Chance for a sip of water. And there's the trophy, and the presentation table is set into the centre of the field. It's just moments away now. The first trophy lift of the day here from Lilleshall National Sports Centre. We're finished 2-1 in favour of St Mary's College. They will very shortly receive the trophy that they have so longed for. Of course, they've had to wait even longer just to play this final. 2020 being what it has been, there was a significant delay between this fixture and the final and the penultimate round of the competition. These young men have waited a long time for this day. When they travel back to the northwest tonight, well, it'll be a very joyous journey along the M6. The presentation ceremony will begin very shortly here. Being called over now to the centre of the field. Now St Mary's College, their record in the competition this year reads: victors over Blacon High School, 3-2. Victors over Derby Craik College, 9-2. Victors over the Grange School, 6-1. They beat Purton Middle School 3-1. Langley School 4-1. Moreland School 6-1. And then they were pushed all the way in this final. But they've overcome St Michael's Middle School by 2-1. A narrow margin. But they won't mind. Not one bit. Nothing worth doing comes easy. And they were pushed right to the end today. Look now at the trophies that are going to be so prized by all those who've taken part today. And the trophy awaits two teams lined up. It was a very clean game as well. I mean, it was played at full throttle. Lots of robust challenges. But ultimately played in a good, clean spirit. Both sets of players can go home with their heads held high in their performances today. Finley Richardson, he's led his team all the way to this final. Gave them a lifeline in the second half. They didn't quite manage to make up the deficit. And as they collect their runners-up medals, again, he can certainly collect it with pride. First to receive their medals, as is the expected custom, will be our match officials from the day. Mohammed Hassan, Mark Hubbard, Nathan Bartram and Bill Quirk. And they really did let this game flow today. It's a very difficult job to be the man in the middle. There's always someone who's going to be unhappy with you. Well, certainly not the case today. They allowed an open, yet at times physical game to just play out quite naturally. Stepping in when required, but certainly not overstepping. Now, over to the teams. And Hayden Hallmark, he's collecting his Player of the Match award. Very good value for that award. Would have to agree with the public's decision making ultimately. Don't forget to keep involved by following the Twitter at Schools Football across the other fixtures of the day. Now, up step St Michael's to collect their medals. They may well be disappointed, but they certainly have nothing to be ashamed of. They were in this one right to the very end. And not a bad return on your debut season in the competition to get all the way to a final. Gives you plenty to aim at next year. And here come the victors. The young men of St Mary's College. And the last man through to pick his medal up, that's the skipper, Dylan Travis. And the number 3 walks the trophy over. The champions, St Mary's College ESFA Boys Under 12 Small Schools Cup Final winners. They did it with some moments of style. They did it with some moments of determination and pragmatism. All that matters to them, though, is that they have done it. So our first final of the day is done. St Mary's College will be going back up to Sefton on Merseyside with silverware with them. And quite rightly so. Don't go too far, we've got 3 other fixtures on ESFA TV today. To switch over to enjoy plenty more action here from Lilleshall National Sports Centre. I've been Kieran Curtis. Thank you very much for joining us.